You guys. Okay. Alright. Just okay. Jadi kan kesian Ash. Okay, how would you come up with a prime number approach? So, okay, first of all, do you understand what prime number is dulu? Nombor perdana, nombor perdana. Do you understand what prime number is? What nombor perdana is? So it's actually a number that can be divisible by itself or one. Contohnya 4 is not a prime number, right? 4 not a prime number. Alright, because it is divisible by 2. Alright. Then you have 7 is a prime number, alright, because alright, it is only divisible by 7 and 1, by itself and 1. And then you have, for example, 29. 29 prime number is a prime number, right? 29 prime number, alright. 33 is not a prime number because it is divisible by 3 and 11. And I have 37. Alright, 37 is a prime number. Okay, so that's a prime number. Alright. So the question is to list down all the prime number between 1 to 100. Okay, you not by Google and cari okay 2, 3, 5. Not by typing like this. You have to find out how do you do the test to check if a number is a prime number or not. Alright. So let's say that I come up with a number kan 101. You can tell me right away if it's a prime number or not. Alright, by typing it inside your application. Alright, maybe by creating a function. Right, maybe by creating a function. Okay, so that's the idea. So let's take our template, problem solving template. Alright, problem solving template. Try to figure, okay, make it section by section. Try to figure out which is the closest reference. Figure out what the tools you need. Again, you only have 6 tools now because now you have function. So remember the 5 tools that you have last week, kan? 3 campur 2. Now you have yang ke-6. Yang ke-6 is function. Okay, so that's then come up with a solution. Okay, you guys can discuss. Don't Google but discuss. Don't Google for answer but discuss among yourself. Alright. Yes. A list of prime number from 1 to 100. So something like this lah. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 23, 29, 31, 37, 40, 41, 43. Alright, something like that. A list. It should come out a list. It should come as a list. But you might need to use function. I don't know. You might need to use function.
I hate to interrupt.
So Joel just has an idea. Because you guys were very positive, very healthy discussion. So at first I want to give the answer at 8 p.m. I say that, it's a very healthy discussion. So that's why I don't like tak apalah. I will let them discuss until they finish. But I think you got the idea, alright? So, macam Joel kan, hey, you check 51, 52. That's a good idea, alright? So you have, if the number, for example, if 50, right? So you check from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sampai 49. But normally kan by 2, alright, you know already that the number is not a prime number, alright? Sebab 50 divisible by 2 equals to ni apa, equals to, will have apa, 50 modulo 2, right? 50 modulo 2, you will get a 0. Why I'm not sharing my screen? Alright, 50 modulo 2, alright, you will get 0. So by that you know already. Of course you have to use modulo. Sebab you know baki, right? You ensure that the baki is a prime number is divisible. So for any questions that have the keyword divisible, normally mesti ada baki lah. Right? You have to think of baki. So baki is something that's similar. So when you say something that is similar, it's actually similar to odd and pair. All right, it's similar to odd and pair, but the difference now is you are not checking with 2 only. You are checking with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So let me show you my answer. All right, then you can see. So we create a function is prime. A function is prime will get a number as a parameter. So let's say I have console.log is prime, alright. So console.log is prime 3 lah, alright. Console.log is prime 7 contohnya, alright. Faiz is from other class. Okay, so what do I suggest? Alright, I said that you check. Let's say that you have a number, guys. You check from 2. So for var I equals to 2, I smaller than num, I plus plus. Kan? Betul lah? You go through all the number from 2 to 6. So that's my clue. A prime number is a number that is not divisible by all the number. So I suruh you sambung tadi. Kan? Where was it? This one kan? Itulah rancak berbual sampai nota saya pun dah ke atas. So a prime number is this one. The idea is to change the definition to add. A prime number is a number that is not divisible by all the number between 2 and itself. Okay, so how do you do? You check, right? You do a for loop from 2 and itself. So this is what I'm doing. So for var I equals to 2, I smaller than num, I plus plus. Okay. If num modulo if num modulo I equals to 0, then I will return false. Kan? It's not a prime number. Tadi I nampak somebody talk about boolean. So if num modulo I equals to 0, then I return false. All right. So after the for loop, right, if everything is okay, then I return true. Alright, so this is the function to check if a number is a prime number or not. Alright, so 7 I got through, 23, 23, 23 I got through. Alright, 32 I got false. Okay, so that's a function to check if it's a prime number or not. So this is macam I cakap hari tu. I create this function first. This is what we call an abstraction. Once I have the function, then I can do a for loop for var I equals to 0, equals to 1. Apa tu? Wah, bosan. Wah, betul lah boolean. I smaller than, I nampak bosan. I plus plus. Alright. So if is prime I, alright, then I will do console.log I. Okay, dia kena I nampak lah. Alright, this one. Okay. So that's about it. That's the answer for prime number. Okay, you can have a look at that. Why we don't have to check for this view by 3.5? No, it's not the ni it's not the ni. You actually check by 3.5.7 semua ni you check Why we don't have to check for this visible by 3? We check 2 until 6, which means that kita buat 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We check for everything. So what this one, right, is actually we do for everything. All the number between 2 and itself. So macam if I put 7 kan, we actually check with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yolculuk ne zaman? Yolculuk ne zaman?
Okay, I actually got it.
Yolculuk ne zaman başladı?
Tak habis lah, I cannot baca. I tak baca sampai habis. Ni, give the full code for this one. If I follow Boolean, surely almost lah, but the question did not ask out for true. I know, actually this one kan, this one is the function to find prime true or not, right? Then I use it to list down all the number. So in the end, I get, right? In the end, I get it, right? But I use it to list down all the number. See? So first I create the function to check if it's a prime number or not. Then after that, I use that function to list down all the prime number.
So I want to ask, why the prime number only show after 347? It not showing anything before 347.
It shows, but dia apa? Dia is limited. The console is limited.
I see.
Bila document.write kan, then you come out lah document.write, document.write, document.write apa? BR, then you should see everything lah. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 9.
So I want to ask if for the first 4 function, the top ones, what is this particular function? What we want to study these?
This one is to check if a number is a prime number or not.
Okay, that one is first is the prime number. The second 4 function is to
list down. This is to list down.
To list down the only prime number, is it?
To list down the prime number. To answer the questions, which is to list down all the prime numbers.
Guys, okay. So the first one is we need to detect only prime number. The second is to list the prime number.
Correct. So it's to test right? To test if a number is a prime number or not.
I see. Okay. So I want to know, so if let's say you see for the first 4 function we have var equals to I equals to 2, and then I be smaller than num. So the num actually we declare in upfront, but how do we, like, when I want to start the calculation, I have to come up with this, is it? Because this particular num doesn't have any value behind it.
A num is, and it could be any number that you want to test. So let's do that. Okay, I want to check if 23 is a prime number, then the num will be 23. So a num is any number that you want to pass later. So you think that's how you have to think it.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. I think I need to work out on this more. I need to understand this subject particular more.
So that's what a function is. A function, num here means it could be anything. So if you want to check if it's 33, then you pass 33. So in the end, when we use it here. I pass all the number from 1 to 1000. So that's the for loop at the bottom. So
okay,
the
thank you.
Parameter that's going to pass. Siapa buat admat je tu lah. Kalau admat je lah, fx, I know lah, fx, right, equals to something kan. The x here is actually num kalau in admats lah. IDE, we use, I use this one lah. I use Sublime, alright, but if not, there is Visual Studio Code, but Visual Studio Code normally on module 2 or module 3. Visual Studio Code. But if only in module 3. If the question asks to find the prime number, where should you edit? If you want, actually the question will ask if a number is a prime number. So if it like that, then only you remove the bottom part. So that one is for K7. Can debug actually right? No, normally you can do it on Sublime. You can do it on Sublime. But this week I use it here because I don't want to use Sublime first. Sebab Sublime will be easier to get console. If you want to debug, you use console lah. Use console. Is okay. This one for n1000. For var I equals to I smaller than plus I. Counter for var I bigger than j and I modulo j equals 0. Counter plus. If counter equal dapat tak? How? Let's try this. Okay, let's try this. Yeah. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 12. In the end, if in the end, if you get the answer and you know how to do it, how to explain it, then that's it. So if I ask you, kan, what is it, and how do you do it, then it's okay in the end. Let me try to get the logic. I smaller than n. Let's see. For plus, right, count equals to 0 for var equals to j smaller than n. What is n? N is 1000, j plus plus. If I bigger than j and I minus j equals to 0, counter plus plus. What is counter? If I bigger than j and I modulo j equals to 0. Oh, it's for loop inside a for loop. Okay, it's a for loop. I think it's the same approach. Yeah, it looks like the same approach. Yeah, it looks like the same prime number plus I plus equals. Yeah, I think it's the same approach. It's the same approach. Cuma you don't use boolean, but you use the counter. So that's it. I think really important. But you were right. Boolean was correct. I think boolean was correct. It's the same approach, but you use a number. I think you use counter lah. Counter 1 2 maksudnya it's a prime number. Okay, let me give you the Fibonacci number because Faiz is calling me from in the other class. So Fibonacci number, the question is, I only give you 3 questions. Why I so good today? Normally I give 4 questions. Because last time you guys were so tired, and then I tak sampai hati nak ajar array because normally this day normally you're supposed to do array already, but you guys were so tired. Tak apalah, kesian lah budak-budak ni. Alright, so the second and third question is related. Alright, the second and third question is related. So tak apa, apa ni? Memorize this answer. Memorize this answer to get this logic. Alright. Okay, Fibonacci is very easy. Alright, you have 1. The first 2 Fibonacci is 1. Alright, 1 and 1. After that, I use my, okay. After that, you see that 1 plus 1 is what? 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. All right, that's the next Fibonacci number. Then 3 plus 2 is 5, and 5 plus 3 is 8. All right. Then 8 plus 5 is 13. 13 plus 8 is 21. Then 21 plus 13 is 34. 34 plus 21 is 55. All right. That's what Fibonacci is. Yeah, we use it in our Java. Oh, use it in our project. All right. So that's what Fibonacci. Yeah. You have 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 8 is 13. 13 plus 8 is 21. 21 plus 35 is 55, and then 55 plus 80. 34 is 89, 89 plus 55 is, right? So that's what a Fibonacci is. Okay, so the question is, I changed the question so that it will be easier. List down the first 20 Fibonacci number. Right, not by calculating, using programmatically. So now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you need to list down another 10. List down the first 20 Fibonacci number. I think the question is list down the Fibonacci that is smaller than 1000, but that one is quite difficult. So I think you just use this. List down the first 20 Fibonacci number. Easy, right? Tidak ada masalah. Very easy, this one. Very easy. I think it's much easier there. There's only one control flow here. Just now there are 2 control flow. Now there's only one control flow. That's why for me it's easier lah, right? Okay, I will go to the other class. I think Faiz asking something. All right, see you. Anything? Well, continue discussing. I will stop your conversation, right, and then interrupt. Not interrupt lah. Whenever I think you guys kantoi, then ini. You know, very, very, very healthy conversation. Jap. Oh, jap for me or jap for, oh, jap. Okay, jap for Amirul. You guys are so funny. All out of box solution. I see all out of box solution. Suddenly want to learn recursive and everything. It's based on what I've learned. That, I think one thing that you need to know, one thing that you need to know from me is that I never ask you to do something that you have not learned. I think that's very clear. If you're with me, just bear in mind that I will never ask you to do something that you have not learned, unless if I tell you. Alright, normally I will tell you. Okay, for this one you need to refer to this. Kan hari tu kan? When we did our first week, I give you reference. All right, for this one, you need to research a little bit. For this one, you need to read, but rarely I give you something that you have not learned. So when somebody want to do array, I purposely give you less questions because I don't want you to worry all about array. Right, because if actually there are actually normally if you look at you're supposed to do, let's say, normally you're supposed to do some of the question in Java in here as well. Right? You're supposed to do some of the question here, which is well, not here, here lah, right? Algorithm, right? Which is this one, and this one, 1, 2, 3. But since tak buat array lagi, tak apalah. I pity them, right? But then you want to do array some more. You want to do array, you want to do recursive. So very ni. So bila I tak ajar tu tak payah, right? Bila I tak ajar tu normally ni. Okay, so I saw C and everything. You only need 2 parameter, right? Which is var num1, alright, var num1, which we start with 1, and var num2, which start with 1, right? So that's how you start. Right, because of course you have to start somewhere. The first number cannot come out of magic, right? It has to be there somewhere. All right, then I will do for var I equals to 0, I smaller than 10. 10 or apa nanti kalau dah selesai. I plus plus. I will do console.log num1, console.log num2. Then I will do num1 equals to num1 plus num2. Then I will do num2 equals to num1 plus num2. That's it. Then I will get the first 20 Fibonacci. So I know how you are thinking. That's what exactly the table that I was doing for you. That's what exactly the thing that I do, right? 1 plus 1, 1 plus 2, 1 and 2 plus 3. That's exactly what I'm doing. Right? You just need to find out with the formula from whatever that I'm presenting to you. Semua terdiam. Yeay. Dah dekat dah. Okay. But some of you come up with array, some of you come up with num3 tak apa. Fit 2 minus 1 minus fit 1. I think you were looking at mathematic punya ni tu. But of course you can do it recursive, yeah. You can do it recursive and everything. But then what recursive? So what is recursive? I don't want to answer what is recursive. Yes, almost the same, except for the except for the array part. No need to. You can use var also. Okay. This one have F3.
I want to ask another thing, sir. So you see in your code that you stated there, okay, you put num1 equals to num1 plus num2, and then you repeat the thing num2 equals to num1 plus num2, right?
Correct.
I want to know why it's actually it's two different function, but we use the same what they call the num1 plus num2, and then we wanted to do a list of 20 Fibonacci numbers, right? But I see there you only put I lesser than 10, but it comes up 20, so I don't understand how it works.
Because there are
So,
two number because for each round,
uh-huh.
so two numbers, which is number one is one number, number two is second number. That's why it come out 2 darab 10 because one round of for loop, I give two numbers.
Oh, so which means each time if we do a function, so it actually calls up two numbers,
Correct. And
and
then
then we repeat 10 times, we come up with 20.
20 numbers. So because one
Oh,
for
okay.
loop, I give two numbers.
Okay, sir. Thank you. I think I got it a little bit.
And then for the other one, I just do it here lah. It's just because you have is no, like I teach you right about the table, right? So you can do kan. You have num1, all right, num1, num2, all right, and then you have 1, 1, all right. So what is this plus this, right? This plus this is what is the formula? This plus this. So kalau I tengok this one is num1 plus num2. What? This plus this. If I look at num1 plus num2, alright. This plus this is also num1 plus num2. But since the number of num1 change, so that's why this plus this become 3. So if I look back at this one, this plus this, what is the formula? Num1 plus num2. Right. This plus this, what is the formula? Num1 plus num2. But the number of num1 changed already to 5. That's why it's become 8. If you sebab tu when I give it the first in the first place, I draw it as a table. So that you boleh nampak clearly lah, right? What is this formula? Is num1 plus num2. Num1 plus num2. Both are num1 plus num2, right? So the challenge now is you are trying to find out a mathematic formula, your pattern recognition. Tadi we are talking about abstraction. Now it's pattern recognition. I give you a list of number, try to find a mathematic formula from it. Try to recognize the formula and come out with the formula. Once you find out the formula, you just code it. Okay. Just now I was lazy to open the drive, but then I was drawing drive to the other class. Then the other drive and everything. So now I open. Now I have 8 plus 5. But you always when you present you can always. I think the best way is for you to use a table. If you notice, all these ones, almost everything we use a table. When we try to understand the apa 010101, we use a table. To do this we use a table. When we the stairs if you draw it as a table, everything that is related to for loop it will be easier for you to do it on a table. I purposely next week I will share with you. Even if you see I purposely rakam 2 videos and I will give you another 1 videos that I you can watch 2 already, because there is this. Sebab I know that Syamil like to stalk my YouTube channel so I purposely rakam 2 videos. I'm going to rakam another videos before besok or something so since suddenly my subscriber become 108. Budak-budak ni buat apa ni? Min max science computer. So this one if you can watch it before
tunjuk cara mendapatkan nilai terbesar di dalam array. So yang ni saya refer buku.
If you can watch it before next class, somebody dislike it or somebody. If you can watch it before class, that will be great, because you will have this exercise next week. right? So you, and then
Habis
another
nak
one I
tahu.
will do it tomorrow. Right? Mesti sure. No lah, no. I silap ni. Alright, so if somebody can you watch it. Another one is average. Alright, another one is average. So you have mean, alright, max and average. So nanti next week you go. So it will be clearer when we do in class. Tak adalah sampai setengah jam, alright. Tak adalah sampai setengah jam. And then this one is SPM punya soalan lah. So if you can't use it, you sambunglah jawapan yang betul lah. Ni soalan SPM semua ni. Ni semua soalan SPM. All this is SPM. SPM Science Computer. SPM. 2009. Koleksi Science Computer. All these are SPM questions. So you can have a look. And then if buku teks tingkatan 5, buku teks 10 tahun ambil SPM. That's what I said. Siapa yang buat for those who do for 2 months kan, maybe you can apply to become a science computer teacher. Since Ministry of Education already open places for everyone to be a teacher kan, maybe you can apply for that. So if you want, alright, pengaturcaraan berasaskan web, alright, so that's a topic for JavaScript. Alright, JavaScript you will find it there. They even learn more difficult thing. Some of the things I tak ada, but I was like, siapa yang buat buku teks ni? Why they teach all this? Why they teach all this? Why they teach all this? Sometimes I wonder why they teach all that instead of the essential. Follow friends tu orang. I cari Java, so I got people cari kerja tak? Oh, cari Java programmer. Okay, if I have, I let you know. Right? If I you know. If you want to be full stack, okay. Normally kan, so let's have. If you want to be full stack, I always tell, I will tell you one thing. For those who join my class, memang biasa ada orang dapat kerja, right? Memang ada orang dapat kerja. So I'm not saying that. Memang we have a track record. People got work from this class. Right, we have a track record that people got away in this class. I think yang the latest I haven't heard from a lot of them but a lot of them got work after the class, right? But you cannot aim to be full stack in 6 months, right? So I'm not promising you that, all right? I'm not promising you that you cannot be full stack in 6 months because it's not sufficient, right? It takes experience from work. Dia bukan boleh keluar 6 bulan boleh jadi. Even university student also they come out, they cannot become a full stack developer, right? It takes experience. So by the end of 6 months, all right, you need to know what you want to focus first, right? You cannot simply do full stack, all right? So if you want to look for banyak soalan satu dulu. Okay, kita kena fikir 6 bulan. Yang 2 bulan tu lain cerita, 6 bulan tu lain cerita. Alright. So if you're thinking about 6 months, as you go out, alright, you have to figure out where do you want to specialize. Alright. So either you want to do mobile, alright, either you want to do web, either you want to do backend, alright. And then that's it lah. And then that's it. I think that's about it. So as you see, more web ni is actually your module 1, alright, and then backend is module 2, and then app is module 3. Kita panggil M1, M2, M3, M3. Okay. So you have to find you jarang orang keluar kerja dia boleh buat dia come out of full stack, right? They start with specialized first. Then in work, alright, in work normally you learn lah for you dapat kerja. Let's say that most of our student, I tell you, most of our student they got work on mobile. While mobile, sebab that's the easiest to get work, to get job. Right? That's the easiest one to get job because we are learning something that university pun tak ajar. Right? Sebab university pun juga tak tahu macam mana nak ajar mobile. So in term of competition for a company that's looking for a junior developer mobile, it's easier for them to find it with us rather than going to a student university. Sebab university pun diorang ajar mobile, it's not as strong as what we teach, right? So that's for mobile. Okay. Back end ni susah tau, right? Back end within 2 months you cannot do back end, right? Within 2 months you cannot do this. But in order for you to do a full stack, normally full stack, what does full stack mean? Full stack mean you know front end plus back end. But back end ni it takes experience. Dia tak boleh suka-suka je, you know, right? What you learn here is fundamental, alright? But as you progress after you got your first job, either here or here, alright? Then through experience, then you can learn backend. And then normally this one you should target to get it within first year, right? Within the second year, right? So let's say that the first year you focus on your first job, so front end lah, web or mobile. Right. So try get this in the first job, and then the backend, the try to get this in the first year within the job, within your first job. All right. So within the second year, then you learn. You try to ask for mobile challenge like in work. Right? But by the time you already know all database, everything, you get the fundamentals. But it's to be honest, I tak tipu punya, right? To be honest, normally is insufficient 2 months. Right? It needs experience. Right? If you are building, if you don't build a system, then you cannot build a backend. You need to know what the system is. You really need to work with a real system. Okay, so for those who do 2 months, so the difference is 2 months you have no choice. All right, you have to do this. You don't have the flexibility to do this or this. All right, you only have to do this. All right. So web also got a lot of things. All right. So web you can either do. But there is one thing, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, right? HTML, CSS. If you have F, then you boleh lah, right? If you have F. Another one is detail oriented. F plus detail oriented. I can't remember what is detail oriented. What is the 16 personalities. Detail oriented. What is detail oriented? Which personality type is it? ISFJ. ISFJ. So J lah kot ISFJ. Dia kata betul lah, ISFJ lah. Memang you have to have F and you have J. So that one is then you can focus normally kan. This is macam designer tau, right? This is macam designer. What does designer do? So a good design, let's compare these two websites. Alright, let's compare these two websites. So both are my projects last time. So yang ini dengan yang ini, right? Yang ini dengan yang ini. So let's focus these two websites. So yang ini, I'm not saying that the design is not nice, right? I'm not saying that the design is not nice. It's not as dia punya detailing tu tak seperti ni. It's not as detailed as this, right? So you see the style, the choice of color, dia punya arrangement, semua ni kan. All this is the detailing is much more than this one, right? This one is actually why I don't. This is our company's website. This is one of our project last time. Dia punya pemilihan font. You see the box also. Some of the box is the bukan kutuk tau. This is I'm telling you this because I know who did it. This is done by a technical person, but this one is actually done by a real designer. Right, sebab because of budget kan, jadi kita ambil budak technical full stack do the design. This one we really take a designer that do it. So this one is really yang macam detail oriented and everything. So yang ini kan, when you work with them, they really look at oh no, it has to be, kena border to have to be like this. Alright, you need to have rounded corner when we work with a designer. Yang ini asas siap lah, alright, asas siap. Even the ni pun, even the messaging at origin is required. But if let's see if this one kan, dia tak, this one I cannot even proceed if I don't select the city and everything. Boleh. Right, so that's how detailed you have to be if you want to go this. All right. And then you have the JavaScript developers. This is what we call a front end, and then this one I told you we will learn Vue.js. Right, we will learn Vue.js. So this is somewhere around week 6 or week 7, right? So this one, all right, got potential, all right? So you might want to focus on this. You can focus on this. Okay. Because this one have a demand, right? So if I go back to LinkedIn, right? If I go, this one doesn't mean that it have a demand. This one is stiff competition, right? Everyone can do it. All right, for LinkedIn jobs. So the Vue.js, right? So for Vue.js, there is almost the same. Is almost the same as mobile just now. Dekat university mereka tak ajar, right? They don't teach it in university. So you have an upper hand if you just focus on Vue.js, right? Or if you want something that is more demand, after learn Vue.js, self-learn React.js. So this one is more demand. Alright. Macam ni kan, I always go, Vue.js berapa page? Vue.js 110. React.js 439. I always use that as a benchmark. But this one also can, right? Less competition. Right, and this one is more demand, right? So you can always self-learn React.js. It's not that hard, right? It's not that difficult. And finally, there is another pillar also, which is going to be a WordPress developer. Right? WordPress developer. This one also have to self-learn, but normally this one is suitable. Learn by yourself, and then can create freelance job. So tadi ada question again. Freelance normally you do this, but you have to self-learn lah. So WordPress ni kan is include WordPress, nampak macam WordPress sudah know, is include setting up the server. Alright, install WordPress. Alright, create plugin, everything. Self-learn means we don't have these courses. Self-learn means you don't have the course in. Well, I'm talking about 2 months, and you don't have this course in 2 months. Macam React.js tu, we teach it, right? We teach it. Even like React.js also, if you find the course in Malaysia, you will find it. But self-learn means because actually, and that self-learn means because you I assume that it's not within the first 2 months. So that's what I mean. The course is in Malaysia. So yang self-learn tu maksud saya tak cover dalam 2 bulan pertama. WordPress I don't cover at all. Right? WordPress I don't cover at all. But React.js, for example, it only be covered in module 2. React.js is only be covered in module 2. Is Python useful to learn? Yes, Python is useful to learn, but normally it's for data science. So if you want to learn Python, you can go to data camp. Some of they are I buy this as well. So USD per year. But I'm not sure. You guys know how to get a shared account. I don't want to teach it, right? Is it better to complete IT module 3 to be better to learn WordPress in React.js? Okay. If you want to do module 3, don't go for WordPress. Right? Don't go for WordPress developer. Because kalau kita ingat I haven't teach you that. Nanti bila in module 3 WordPress developer is React.js is more is more demanding. React.js, Vue.js is more demanding than WordPress developer. So if you plan to do module 3, don't go for React developer. Don't go for WordPress developer. Alright, let's go back. So yang ni kan, I just put all the technology. So this one we use Flutter and React Native. Okay, so for this one we will do Vue.js, right? HTML, CSS. For backend we will do MongoDB, right? Express.js, React.js, and Node.js. Right, so at least you have the idea what technology that you use, right? So if you do module 3, if you do module 3, so then no need to do WordPress. So you should focus either Flutter, React Native, Vue.js, Express.js, or backend, right? So you should do that. But if you self-learn, if you need to self-learn, then you do WordPress lah. If you do only module 1, then you can either do WordPress or you learn React.js, which is normally covered in module 2, but since you don't take module 2, for example, then you have to self-learn. So machine learning, yes, machine learning is under data science and everything. So that one you can either do some data camp. I don't think they have either data camp or Kaggle. But the thing about machine learning is you need to have you need to have a real case study. So that's the thing that's about machine learning. You need to have a real case study. You need to have a good thing to analyze. So if you do this online thing, the best thing is you need to have something. Real data, because I was thinking macam I have all this information, student report card and everything. I have all this information inside my system. So how can we predict what is suitable for a student, for example? So that's a real interesting use case, right? Because if you go to any website, they always talk about the same thing. They talk about predicting price of home. They always talk about the same thing. I pergi website ni, I belajar, they talk about predicting home. I pergi website ni, I belajar predicting home. In US, right? Rarely you have a nice use case in Malaysia. Maybe the time that is suitable for you to go to Giant, that will be an interesting use case. The thing about machine learning is if you learn, it has to be database SQS module 2. So I tertinggal satu lagi in module 2. This one is very subjective. All right. This one is very subjective. Sorry, ini JavaScript saja. So JavaScript saja. JavaScript ni ada ni ada Dart. So dekat Flutter ni dalam Dart. So if you want to talk about language, dia ada Dart. Ada satu je language baru Dart dekat sini. So this one is JS, but everything else will be JS. So we focus on JS. That's how you start lah. I boleh je ajar you PHP and everything, but actually it's not good for for beginners, all right? If you mix language, so that's why we try to focus everything on JavaScript, all right? And then by module 3, normally student can learn already the second language. So that's why we introduce that as a second language. Okay, so to answer, normally self-learn work is best I recognize. So for me, all right, for me, the more trouble you have, all right, the more trouble you have, I would recognize it. I would recognize it if you have the more trouble. Okay. What is my definition of that? Contohnya kan, you know the difference between Udemy and freecodecamp. Alright, because Udemy kan, you watch video, sambil-sambil jawab phone, sambil-sambil WhatsApp, then lepas. So that one is, for me, I know that there is no trouble to do that. Alright, so that one, when people say that, oh, I got Udemy, I macam, okay, so what? Again, but if you're doing something like freecodecamp, you have something like freecodecamp, I know that to do one, it take like 300 hours, right? You even see that to do one module is 300 hours. So I know that it's hard to get it. So that one, I will appreciate it, right? I can, okay, I know that this student do freecodecamp. Let's say that he has, let's say that he have done this. Oh, susah ni. Even myself, I cannot do this. All right. Let's say that I think, all right, oh, susah ni. Even myself, I only do this. All right. I have not done the React. I have not done this. For example, I know nak buat apa to do the calculator. I know that it's hard to do it, but the student managed to do it. All right. So that one I know that is hard. Then for me personally, I would recognize it. So things like Udemy kan, I know it's just watching video, okay, tiru tengok source code, right? Oh, tak apalah, kalau tak apa, I will look for the source code. That one for me I just like, okay, so that's it. But for this, I really know it's very hard to do it. I know that, oh, it's not as easy to do it. Of course, you can go to YouTube and everything. But even if you go to YouTube, also you have to copy the thing. You have to paste. Macam ni kan, you copy my code and everything. And then there's another one is HackerRank. Now, of course, there is a HackerRank as well. So HackerRank is is all the macam ni, a lot of exercise and everything. So I would rather you have something from HackerRank or freecodecamp rather than Udemy, a collection of Udemy or Coursera or ni. So you guys asking question because you don't want to do the third question, is it? So that's why everyone semangat tanya soalan. No lah, okay. No, it's okay. Because you don't want to tanya soalan, that's why you do the third. That's why you ask me quite a lot of questions. Banyak soalan pula mereka hari ni. Because they don't want to do the third question. Okay, anything else? Wait. Anything else about the structure of the course and everything? Because I think I didn't give you chance as well to ask question about this. How you ni? This is not you want is not it's not yang ini bukan fresh grad, right? They must want it 2-3 year experience, correct kan? So it's impossible for you to do this on the fresh grad. Fresh grad boleh, no? Fresh grad normally they don't do this. Java, Spring Framework, Hibernate ni semua is actually a different technology. So normally is a 2 or 3 years. So what your friend can do is, your friend can that's what I say. What your friend can do is, your friend can hire fresh grad. Tanya your friend, hey, are you open to this? You hire fresh grad and then you send them training to do Java developers, things like this. Right, so that's another way. So it's hard for them to find fresh grad or developers unless if it 3-4 year experience. Then only you have microservice, Spring Framework, Hibernate, everything. But for a fresh grad, normally they will not be able to do it. Some more, I just look at one of the university punya syllabus. I was like, kenapa tak ajar Spring Framework and everything? Sebab lecturer tak ajar, so it's very difficult for them to do it. So tell your friend if he's in the correct. So Spring National, the place we train. So it has to be like that. It has to be like that. So you hire fresh grad and then you have to train them to all this. Sebab I was like, lecturer tu dia ajar benda lain. Kita when we talk to lecturer kan, as an industry, dia macam dia macam ni dia like, oh no, pegangan kita begini, kita sudah mengajar lebih 10 tahun. Yes. So they have all that philosophy and everything. So the idea is you should get your friends should get a fresh grad and then send them training on this. Okay. So any other questions before ni? So, well, I don't think you will do the third questions. Well, you do. The third question is not that hard. All right. The third in tech, which language has highest pay? Which language has highest for a fresh grad? Right. For a fresh grad, I think it's an iOS developer. For a fresh grad, so if you're talking about a fresh grad. Because after that, it plays betul lah cakap, that one is 4-5 years experience, right? That one is 4-5 years experience. But I think as a fresh grad, I think it's an iOS developer. So, well, but unfortunately, we don't teach iOS developer. Well, we don't teach iOS developer in class, or in ni. But I think that's the highest for a fresh grad. But if you're talking about ni, dia banyak kriteria. If you're talking about people with 2 or 3, let's see, iOS developer. Ni semua ni cuma junior ni. Let's say normally I think it's an iOS developer, not Android developer. It has to be an iOS developer. Because I always find zero applicant for this. Because I get Swift and C++. Ashraf, I was giving it to Ashraf last week to ni. He has not applied. So you saw the company, Peopleology is one place that has hired our student. So if that's why and then the student was very good. So one of the place you can remember, one of the place that has hired our student is Peopleology. And then I just message the student, Peopleology good place. Yeah, good place to grow. That's what she said. Let me do it before I forgot. Where's my thing is now? 6 p.m. on this one. 2 p.m. 11, 10 a.m. Where's my screenshot? Hilang. Yeah, so Peopleology is a good place. If you are, they are looking, they always look for entry level. So it's a good place for you to start. Okay, iOS is using what language, sir? Swift. For those who take module 3, then you know, even like TNG digital and everything, they are looking for about 6 to 8 years old and everything. But for me, it's iOS developer. I think junior up to 8,000. It's been a while since I teach iOS, but I teach iOS, but it's been a while. It's been a while, and for you to know iOS, you need to have a Mac, right? So you cannot learn iOS without a Mac. But I think you have a Mac, right? Raj have a Mac. Who always complain? No, bukan Raj. Siapa ni kan? Si Amirul. Amirul kan? Bukan Amirul. Syamil kan yang pakai Mac. It's not me. I think Syamil always have a problem and then he blamed the map. And then it's not your problem. It's not programming problem. It's actually you have to go to Mac class. How to use Mac. But if you have a very problem, as long as you tahu JS JS atau got knowledge of Vue.js. If you have then let me know. Probably can recommend them to get a job. Okay, apa lagi ya? Apa lagi ya? I think that's about it. I think it's almost time. I have to go to the other class. I just want to show you my spike. I'm not sure if you guys know this. This is diploma kemahiran. Alright, this is diploma kemahiran. Alright. So in diploma kemahiran, these are the thing for you to get. These are the thing for you to get a diploma kemahiran. Right? These are the thing for you to get a diploma kemahiran. So you need to know how to build this. You need to know how to build this. You need to know how to build this. You need to know how to do this. You need to know how to do this. You need to know how to do this. You need to know this. So by having this, you are getting the diploma kemahiran. And then I think the next one is full stack. And then by doing this, all right, you're going to have a full stack. All right. So you tengok ni, why I ask you, because why I ask you, why I showing you this, because if you are doing 2 months, you are actually, if you are doing 2 months, if you are doing 2 months, you can actually validate 1 and 2. So if you are doing full you can actually validate 1 and 2, right? So that's the. So these are all the modules. If you are doing 6 months, you can validate 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? If you are doing 6 months, you can validate 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. The others, this one also can. This one also can, but this one also can. All right. So how to get the diploma kemahiran? How to get the diploma kemahiran? So there are 3 ways for you to gather it. So diploma kemahiran. Okay, so this is how you get the diploma kemahiran. So I'll just share you can read it first. So the first one is either you go to training in institute yang diiktiraf. Alright, so yang ni in Malaysia tak banyak lah. Alright, in Malaysia tak banyak. So no age restriction, no age restriction. No age restriction. So there is no age restriction. I think minimum is SPM. That's it. So you have to get it, but this one you have to pay lah. Right? You have to pay another 2 years. Then you go for it. All right, and then you go. But actually you can validate some of it already. Number 2 is you go to work. All right, you go work as an intern or as an apprenticeship. Jadi this is what we call apprenticeship lah, right? So kaedah latihan perantisan. SFDN yang jekan Israel dan Instagram. So you can go to this company, you go to work and you go works there, you go as an apprentice. Then we help you validate. So for example, macam ni kan, you can validate all. For us to validate all, ni 2 tahun tau. For you to get all, it has to be 2 years. For you to get 1, it's going to be 1 to 2 months, right? So that's the second way to get. So if you want to get all also, you have to it has to be 2 years of apprenticeship in the company. Right? If you want to get the diploma, if you want to get just the 1 and 2, then it's going to be 1 month or 1 to 2 months. Another one is for you to get it through exam, all right, or through experience. So this one, it has to be 3 to 5 years minimum of working. 3 to 5 years minimum of working in domain. So let's say that you get your first job, right? Let's say you get your first job and everything, and then lepas 3 tahun you can get it by creating a portfolio or taking an exam. Then once after 3 years of working, then you will get you can get the diploma kemahiran, right? So that's the name. So that's SKM. So that's DKM. So the point is, Yeah, actually, why I'm showing you this? Because if you have done module 1, you can do this. But you still need to redo, yeah, because you do it with BAC, and but in the end, if you go either way, you go to except for cara ketiga, except for the third way, number 1 and 2, you still need to redo it. But it will facilitate. You will get it easily, lah, right? Number 1 and 2. But if you do 3 modules, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you can do this as well. So buka intern ke tak? Belum lagi, because I still have 5 interns that I have to get rid before I have to get rid as fast as possible. So not yet. I have not opened it yet. Because then only the new batch can go. Because sekarang ni I have to say get rid lah. Kalau intern free kan. Kalau intern free you can PM me. But kalau ni because now apa, I have to say this because now PKP and economy very bad. So that's why the word is get rid. if it's not PKP, then I'm happy to welcome. Okay, so that's it. I think 10:20 already. So the last question we will do. Congratulations, you managed to deviate me from asking you to do the third questions. You do that next week. And then I think somebody tell me, somebody already make a good point. Finish Ash make a good point. Finish the free code camp. All right, try to finish the free code camp. So try to do as much as possible. The thing that I mentioned. Okay, so I will cut you guys off. I will go because I have another class, which is the other batches.